I fall asleep.
You get that 4 o'clock in the morning stare. You're still playing.
I'm Rich.
And I'm Josh.
Make sure your Walkman is at full battery because we're diving into our dad tapes.
Thanks for listening to tape number 8 of the Dad Tapes. Let's get rolling.
What are we drinking tonight, bro?
Tonight we are drinking a lovely old Dogfish Head brew. Um, it's a citrus squall. It's 8% ABV. It's a double golden ale, brewed in Milton, Delaware.
Dude, I am not one. So just to preface this for everybody here, it's an ale with grapefruit juice and blue agave nectar. Okay. I'm not a sweet guy. Look, I am a sweet guy, but I'm not a guy who drinks a lot of sweets. I don't need any more sweets because I'm already sweet enough. So I like my stuff bitter. I like higher, IBUs and stuff in my beers. This beer, it's a heavy 8% beer. Doesn't taste heavy at all. It is super citrusy, but in a good way. It is just enough sweetness, just enough bitter, just enough citrus. It is absolutely amazing. I love it.
I went out to the bar the other night and found it myself. It was on tap. I had one, and then I had a bunch of food at Olive Garden for dinner, and I had that beer, and then within like minutes of me drinking that, I'm like, dude, I gotta get something to eat. Like, holy shit! Like this is
Yeah,
it's hit me
yeah. I
hard.
mean, I got a little confession because obviously Josh and we scheme this up and we prepare our beverages the week leading up to the show. So we exchange like, oh, what are we drinking this week? Yada yada. And yesterday, the wife and I went to the local liquor store, bought this 6 pack. The wife and I decided, tough day with the kids when she got home. Let's just crack a beer. Let's just try it out and see how it is. Well, one turned into two and two turned into three. And honestly, this beer put us on our we were done, bro. It's heavy. It goes down so smooth and
Yeah.
it is so freaking tasty.
Mm.
Now, once it starts to warm up, it's a little ooh, but you got to keep it
Yeah,
cold. Keep it
I
cold
agree.
and it is God. Mm, 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 mm.
Dude, it's like when I'm drinking this, and the funny thing is because it sneaks up on you so much when you're drinking it, it tastes like you're drinking grapefruit juice.
Yeah, it does.
And then like you start to get to that point where you're like, whoa, like
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. This ain't no grapefruit, dude. This is a
Yeah.
beer. This is a
Oh,
beer to put hair on your chest too.
oh,
Anyway, man,
shit.
what's been up? How's your week been?
Not bad, man. Just dude, it fucking shitty weather and past couple days haven't been too bad.
Okay.
And we expected rain all week, but uh past couple days it's been chilly as hell in the mornings, man. I fucking love it.
I know. I love that. It's Carhartt season. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like, I
right.
love that. I love the cold mornings. I mean, I'm a cold guy, so I love
So
cold
am I.
temperatures, man.
Yeah.
My dream is for Jill and I to have a cabin up in New York State in the middle of the winter, just camping out in my cabin, bro. That's my dream. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get the love for that cold morning session.
Dude, what I miss the most is those cold, crisp mornings and climbing into a deer stand. Dude, I can't wait,
Mm.
man. I can't wait. You can see your breath. It's
I,
fucking I'm
you know,
excited.
I
But
love that. I haven't been in a deer stand, but I love that for you, bro.
no, but it was pretty good. It was pretty chill week. I mean, it was busy, but not as busy as it was a couple weeks ago. But
Okay.
just kind of been, hanging out, hitting the bars, doing a lot of sleeping. I'm having this issue where I keep falling asleep on the fucking couch. And
Yeah.
it's fucking
Yeah.
killing me.
You know, dude, that's that single life, man. There was a short period of time where, I went from one relationship to the before Jill, and I found myself just I would like binge out on the couch, have a few beers if I wanted some, or just lounge around, play some Xbox, watch some TV, And it was like, oh, great, this is awesome. So it's like boom, and then just if I fall asleep, I fall asleep.
You get that 4 o'clock in the morning stare. You're still playing video games.
God.
Oh, man, I do what
Yeah.
I want.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, until you're married.
Oh shit. Well, no, what about you, man? What you?
Yeah, so actually, I haven't told you this yet either, but this past week, I'm now officially a licensed realtor again.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I got my CEs done, completed all that, rehung my license at a local office and in the area I used to practice in. And quite honestly, it's like 45 minutes from where we live now. And we live in a totally different county from where my license is being hung. That's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, it's nice to have that. And not for nothing, that's where my clientele is. That's where, I have,
Yeah. Familiarity.
yes, familiarity with the business, familiarity with owners. So if I happen to bump into an owner or an old client or anything like that, I could certainly spark that clientele back up thereafter. But
How you guys gonna do that with the kids? You put them back in school or?
see, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna get into practice or anything right now. So I mean, it's just to keep it active. It's good for 2 years. That the renewal period is biannual. I have another 2025 until I have to do CEs again, and it's
Oh,
minimal
okay.
CEs. And then each year you just pay for the MLS fees and such. So it's nothing significant. I mean, it's
So it's
it's
kind of it's kind of like union dues and shit like that, right?
yeah,
In a
exactly.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not too bad. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
so just to keep it active, just it's something always good just to have and fall back on. In the worst case scenario, it's like, hey, I can get a worst case scenario, get a referral fee out of it. So,
Yeah, there you
it is
go.
what it is. But yeah, I
Good for
mean,
you, man.
it's thank you. But other than that, I mean, just the kids being the kids. Dex is, just as stubborn as ever, and Bridget is, one step behind the leader. That's how it seems to go because whatever Dex does, she's right there, and sometimes she's leading him. So I got my hands full on that end. But
Dude, she's growing up way too fast, man.
so it's about that time. Do you know what time it is? Because it's about that time
Yeah, for us to be prepared dads.
for us to be prepared dads by reading our handy dandy be prepared a practical handbook for new dads. This is your life journey right here, guys. It's you
And you're
really
living
got
it.
to go you live it all right. You live it firsthand experience. You just got to wing it too half the time. Back in my day, they didn't have these books.
Back in my day.
So what section are we reading tonight, bro?
Tonight we are reading Returning to Work.
I
It's
never did that.
it's pages 70 to 72 to 75. It's self-explanatory, man. Just it talks about, the struggles of going and being off of work for a certain amount of time and dealing with a cranky baby and a needy baby, and it gives you tips on what to do with how to make sure you're okay to go back to work. I mean,
Yeah, for you first time dads, and fortunately, you and I live in a state where paternity leave, uh, parental leave is becoming more of a like
oh
a
yeah,
pushed thing politically.
yeah,
With it being 12 weeks, man, that's so valuable. That is such a crucial time. So that being said, I mean, listeners, reach out to your local FMLA. That's a it's Family Medical Leave Act. I can't remember what department specifically handles that. I think it might be the Department of Labor. So reach out for that FMLA leave. It really helps. That
L-
time is so critical.
listen, guys, take advantage of that shit because that's something I didn't do, and I kind of regret it. The older she gets,
Mhm.
but it's something to enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the first couple weeks are pretty stressful, but it's something that you're going to enjoy in the long run.
It is, comparatively speaking, because I've been in this situation to where it's been both. Jacqueline being born first, my situation then, I was working at the time, and I I took off just 1 week. I had 1 week off, and I was right back to work. And it ate me up inside. It really
Hmm.
did. And then obviously the second time around, that was post pandemic, 2021. I was already out of work at that time. The time I got to spend with her was just like no other, and
Yeah.
utilize that time. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of judgments. That's your
Take
family.
take advantage of it, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
absolutely. But when you finally do get back to work, dude, sleep deprivation, that's a dude. Whoo, when I had Declan, I'm sorry, I didn't have Declan, but when we had Declan and I was back at work, oh my God, bro. I was a raccoon died because I wanted to, I had 1 week off. So I wanted to get that time with him. So I would do the night feedings all through the night. I took pride in doing that. And you know, I certainly paid for it at work the next day. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's tough.
It is, man, and it's like, dude, exhaustion sucks. And, the book talks about like it gives you tips on saying, dude, your lunch break. If you get an hour lunch, half hour lunch, whatever you get, yo, take advantage of that shit, man.
Hmm.
Go take a quick little 5 nap or some shit.
Even if you have a 30-minute nap, research from NASA has found that airline pilots who napped for an average of 26 minutes improved their performance by 34%. So not only, that's a good argument for you to proposition your employer with. Hey, I need some
Yeah.
nap time. If I'm getting at least 26 minutes, I'm going to be performing even better. You know
It's
what I'm
like we're back
saying?
in kindergarten, man. I need my
Exactly.
nappy.
Dude, yeah, I need my nappy now. Jesus, man.
Oh shit. Damn. It also says like, if your company has a gym, lie down on a mat and do some, deep relaxation exercises.
And then it also says if you're really desperate, go into the stall, take a seat. You want to line that dirty, disgusting, wet, sometimes poop on the back part of the lid. Wrap that thing with toilet paper like a neck of a violin, bro, and just lay or sit down. Don't lay down. Please do not lay down. Sit
Please don't.
down. Put your bare booty on that toilet paper. Who cares, man? You were that tired, and just close your eyes. What's somebody gonna do? Not gonna. Nobody's gonna invade your space. That's your private space.
Listen,
No.
man, no shame. I've done it in a porta john at work
Ooh.
for like 5 quick minutes. So you got to do what you got to do, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You do. And then the book also gives you some like tactics for, let's just be honest. When you're sitting at your desk, if you have a desk job, I know you don't have a desk job, and I've worked your normal 9 to 5 pencil pushing job sitting at a desk, and you've got to stay upright. You start to lean over, you lay down, and you put your head down on your desk, you lean back in your chair. I worked with a gentleman who was in his 70s, man, and it was openly acceptable for him to literally lean back, put his hands behind his head, and shut his eyes for 10, 15 minutes. Nobody cared. And I'm just like, why can't I do that? God forbid if I go in the bathroom to take a poop, I'm getting yelled at. But anyway, you want to stay upright at your desk just to let your boss think that you're working, just give that image that you're working. You could just be pissing around and you'd have goggles on and make your eyes just stay open, but you're really asleep. Who knows? And Josh, what are those tips?
Number one, an oscillating fan for a cool, irregular breeze. Two, post-it notes for everything because you can't trust your brain.
Facts. I can't trust my brain, and I couldn't trust my brain beforehand. I still can't trust my brain.
Number three, which I can't stress enough. I'm gonna add something to it, but it says coffee and a sports drink. Dude, energy drinks. Best fucking
Mm.
friend, bro. Number four, chewing gum, preferably peppermint or cinnamon. Uh, you know, they're natural stimulants. Number five, sharp, dissonant music. Bagpipes are perfect. Number six, hourly breaks to climb the stairs. Give your oxygenate your blood, wake you up a little bit. Number seven, energy bars for lunch. Heavy meal. Heavy meals will tire you. Facts. Number eight, a tray of cold water. for your bare feet. What?
That sounds horrible.
I don't
That
know
sounds
who's going to stop
horrible.
in the middle of their work day to fucking take a little quick foot bath, but I don't know.
If you
If it
got it
works,
like
it
that, then
works.
you got it like that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And the last one, number nine. A prominent display of baby photos to remind people to cut you some slack in case you actually do keel over onto your keyboard.
that that's a crucial tip. It helps. It does help. I've been there. I've been there. The goal of the show tonight, it's a heavy topic. It's a very sensitive topic too. Single parents, and kind of discuss just what it's like just being divorced in the first place. Some stats and some data to kind of get some insight as to how heavy marriage truly is. And it's not something to just take lightly, but it's also not something to avoid. We got some numbers to prove that if you avoid it, you could even be worse off.
Divorce is often seen as a 50-50 chance. Though that's an outdated statistic, there are some things to understand before diving into some enlightening data. There are two metrics of measurement for rate of divorce: crude and refined. Crude divorce rates are measured by all divorces. Refined divorce rates are divorce rates per women, typically both measured in a per 1,000 basis. The crude measurement was primarily used historically, with the 90s and early 2000s seeing the use of refined rate as a more precise measure. However, with the increase of same-sex marriages, that measure may not be as accurate as the crude measurements. The most recent statistics for divorce indicate an overall decrease in divorces in the nation. For comparison, 2000 saw a crude rate of 4 per 1,000 population. However, 2021 saw a crude 2.5 rate per 1,000 population, equating to an approximate 60% decrease. Additionally, there's an argument that divorce rates are down due to marriage rates dropping. Analyzing that for a moment, the marriage rate from 2000 to 2021 decreased by 36%. Just shy of half the rate of decreased divorce. One interesting statistic is that those married between the ages of 20 to 25 are 60% likely to end in divorce. Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, that is. That's crazy, isn't it?
Shit.
I mean, you got married to your ex-wife at what age?
I was 25 when I got married.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Wow. So compared to those who marry after the age of 25 with a 24% less likely chance to end the divorce, 36% chance of divorce. Lastly, avoiding marriage completely and just opting to live with your partner actually puts you against even higher odds.
You better watch out, man. You better get married again.
Phew, fuck.
Actually, that maybe not because the divorce rates are even higher for divorcees already getting divorced and getting married again. Oh, tough, man.
Statistically speaking, marriage has been shown to not only help with positive health and longevity, but also decreases the death rate for those married at the time of death with factoring age adjustments. Oh shit, so I'm gonna live longer?
If you're married, no.
Uh,
If you're married, you live longer. If you're married, your death rate drops. So you are more inclined to die
fuck,
than
I
I
better
am
get
right
married
now.
then.
You better get married just to stay alive. Uh,
Moreover, those who do not marry but live with their partner stand a 49% chance of separating within the first 5 years compared to their first time married counterparts coming in at 20%.
damn.
That number then increases to 64% chance of separation within 10 years, while their first time married counterparts are 33% likely to divorce.
So a first time married couple within 10 years, their first 10 years of marriage is still less likely to separate than a couple living together within their first 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just 1% shy of a coin flip deciding if you and your significant other, not non married significant other, are going to make it through your first 5 years living together. That's those are not betting odds.
Now
It's like Betty Knots.
I am fucked.
Yeah. So, obviously, like I said already in the goal of the show, fortunately have never been through a divorce situation. I've never been a divorcee, and I don't plan to be and don't want to be. And Josh, I hope that you don't have to go through that. But what I'm getting to is only one of us really has had this journey. And tonight, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna grill you, man. Tonight's a grill Josh.
That's fine.
The first thing I wanted to get out there is I know what we just went over was just a huge data dump, and I get that, and though the statistics that we found do not focus on divorced couples with kids, you have personally obviously been through a divorce. Conditions and circumstances of your divorce and what led up to your divorce aside, don't let's not focus on that. That's neither here nor there, because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, that's not what we're talking about. We mostly focused on age and rates and how you have specifically fallen into that age group.
Statistic. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just another statistic. And not to devalue you, but at the end of the day, you do fall into that. Interestingly enough, your wife was also more likely, as I had already just said, more likely to get divorced because this wasn't her first marriage. Prior to these statistics, what was your view on getting married again? And this is a two-part question. So, what was your view on getting married again? And though we didn't really touch base on a lot of remarried statistics, and we just wanted to kind of focus on the first married world, if you will. But from glancing at some of the information when I was doing some research, your likelihood for a divorce only increases after your first divorce. So, does that stand to be a deterrent for you?
Honestly, all right, so when it first happened, um, you know, it was very odd because, I got, yes, I know we had some issues and this and that. I mean, I won't go into detail, but um, going from having that person that you're with every day to you by your lonesome, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it was rough, and I honestly thought I did think to myself a few times, like, hey, like I don't think I'm ever gonna get married again, you know,
Okay.
and only because it was a negative, like I had a lot of negative thoughts because of the negative things that happened in the relationship. I sat there and I kept banking myself on that decision, and I wasn't really I wasn't seeing the full aspect of what a marriage really is.
So, coming out of it, what was your first thoughts on getting married again? And I mean, you said you didn't plan on it, but that was immediacy. That was only, you
Yeah.
could only bank off of what just happened. So moving forward, 2 months down the road, 3 months down the road, like how far was it where you could even digest the idea of marriage again, if ever?
I mean, honestly, I mean, it took me a while. Um,
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna be coming up on, let's see, separation was about 2 years ago. Legally divorced. It's been about a year and a half, I want to say.
Okay.
Those are just rough numbers because I don't really remember, but um, it took
Wait,
me a
bro, we celebrate it every year when it happens. What are you talking
yeah, right.
about?
Um, honestly, I mean, it took me a long time to actually get to the point where, I even thought about like, hey, I want to find my partner. Like I want to find my partner in crime. I want to see, I want to be able to have that person that I can rely on and be the one that they rely on as well. And just have that, comfortability of having someone that that you can actually just confide in.
Mm,
And with all the things that were negative that had happened, it took me a long time to actually realize that, like, hey, it's not the fact that I don't like being alone. It's more or less the fact that like I don't want to do my life by myself.
yeah, I get that.
I want to have somebody there to enjoy my life with that's besides family. And it was very tough in the beginning because
Mm,
I had to find myself again before I could actually start to look for someone that I was, I guess you could say in a sense accepting applications for a future wife, But
Well, yeah, I
it's
mean, I'm sorry, your identity when you were married became married Josh. So, yeah, I can only imagine just the mere identity crisis you had gone through right after. So, yeah, man, that's brutal. Now hearing all those stats and hearing these numbers, is it gonna deter you in the future, you think?
no. Honestly, in my opinion, they're just numbers.
Okay.
Um,
And
I
not for
mean,
nothing, yo, just to play devil's advocate, you are just a number right now. I mean,
yeah,
you fall
I
into
know.
that.
I get that. And, even though that the statistics say that it's going to be, a higher percentage of me getting a divorce rate again, I'm not looking for that.
Hmm.
I'm I am looking for someone that's going to be by my side, be my Bonnie to my Clyde for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
In my opinion, I'm not going through this again.
You know, the other one of the other things that I had done or I had saw with doing all this research was one of the leading causes for divorce is communication, and the second cause is infidelity. So just communication alone can stop the biggest reason for divorces. Keep that in mind, man. Just communicate your intentions, communicate how you feel. You've not only been through a divorce, but you've also had an engagement that had fallen apart. What have you learned from both of those experiences for yourself, and what have you learned about yourself through those experiences?
A lot, man.
Mm.
A lot. I mean, mainly I don't put up with anybody's bullshit.
Hmm.
Especially being a single dad. There's a lot of things that you can't look past.
Hmm.
You have to be you're not only doing this for yourself, but you're also doing this for your children as well.
Hmm.
Your child or children, whether you have one or more. But um if something doesn't seem right, it's something you really have to look at because you can't only you're not only thinking for yourself. You have to think about what's going to be best for your daughter as well, and it's tough.
I'm sure, man.
And honestly, I can honestly say I've been on quite a few dates, and I don't mean to sound judgmental, but if there's things that I don't think are appropriate or fitting, it's something I have to let go.
Your standards in the dating world drastically change when you're a father compared to, pre-children. So yeah, man, you have a lot more to consider. Like you said, you're not just thinking for yourself. You have to think. I think priority number one is her, your daughter.
Yeah,
So if a situation or attributes or qualities that somebody brings to the table just aren't what you're looking for, or would even work for her, you have to make that sacrifice.
you know, like we spoke about earlier, it all comes down to, I mean, major communication.
Hmm.
Communication is key in a relationship, guys. You know, it doesn't,
Communication is the gas that starts your car in a relationship. Without communication,
you're
you're
going
not
nowhere.
going anywhere.
Yeah. If you guys are doing well, keep up the good work.
And if you're not, just continue to try. That's half the battle.
Exactly. Exactly.
So previously, our fourth segment of the show was Dear Internet Meet Dad, and though it had a great little ring to it, we saw the migration we were making toward and where we were going away from. It wasn't very dad centric anymore, which is honestly okay because that's just where the show's going. So we're gonna redub the Dear Internet Meet Dad to situation, because you know what? A lot of these times when we're reading these FMLs, you're just finding yourself in a very shitty situation. So situations is a very befitting name for it. What's our first situation you got for us?
Our first situation is wisdom. It's an FML. It's by unexpected. It says, "Today my son told me to grow a pair," in quotations, "and ask my girlfriend of a year and a half to marry me. He's 7 years old. Fuck my life."
That kid knows what that man needs, man.
That that kid's got some balls.
Yes, he does, man. Whew.
Number two. This one's a spicy one. It's called The Everlasting Prank by Anonymous. "Today, after my wife put hair remover on my chest hair, or on my chest hair in the shape of a cock and balls a while back, the hair has fully grown back, but it's darker and thicker, so you can still see the shape unless I start keeping it clean shaven all the time. Fuck my life."
Oh God. Thank God I don't have a lot of chest hair.
I'm fucked. I'm screwed if that ever happens to me. This is another spicy one. It's called Smart Kid by Anonymous. "Today, my neighbor pointed at me and said to his best friend, 'This motherfucker still lives with his mama. That's why he can't get no pussy. I'm
Ho, ho,
30.
ho, ho, ho.
I'm 30. My neighbor is 11. Incorrect.
Oh
Fuck my life."
wow.
That's a low blow, man.
Damn. That's like a what am I doing with my life type of moment right there, man. Woo.
Oh shit. Uh, and the last one is a spicy one. It's called Classic Sitcom Fodder. "Today I walked in on my wife in bed naked with a guy I've never heard, never even heard of. At first she said, 'It's not what it looks like.' I told her I just saw her cheating on me with another man, to which she said, 'Oh, it's exactly what it looks like. FML.'"
Ah, that's infidelity for you. The second biggest reason for divorce.
Oh
God
shit.
damn, man. That is brutal.
Oh man. Well, there's one thing I want to say to you guys before we start to do the social media shout out. Is if you're starting to have negative thoughts, man, and you're in a and you're starting to think about divorce, don't make that your last resort.
Mm,
If you have to, get some help because it truly does help. There's a lot of cases where, couples get, you know, they start to stray away from each other, and they go through couples therapy, and then they do individual therapy and find a lot of things that are bugging them, you know, and they end up, better than they were when they got married,
yeah.
you know. Just don't make it a last resort because honestly, it sucks. It's not fun at all.
Don't be impulsive. Don't be impulsive in getting married and don't be impulsive in getting divorced. Put that effort in because that's what marriage is. You take that vow. And
Yeah.
I know I personally I take that vow seriously. So here's our social media shout out every week. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/the Dad Tapes. Instagram, our handle is the Dad Tapes Podcast, and on Twitter, the Dad Tapes. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review of the show wherever you listen to podcasts. It helps the show.
We want to hear your feedback.
You know what
You
else
know,
you shouldn't forget?
rewind that damn tape, man.
You better rewind the tape before you put it in that box. That's all. Don't be that guy.
Yeah. Shit. All right, guys. Have a good week.
Take care.
Peace.
Peace.